Welcome to another Pokemon Artcast. We're live this time. As always, I am Josh Shadow, and you all know our lovely host, the mythical Pokemon number 151. Yep. So, what do we got on the ballot today? Well, right now we have Chris James T in the Pokebox. Because all good stuff there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Okay. Fun, quick statement here. We are getting indications that Chris James does not hear the Zommew. I I hear you loud and clear, so I don't know. But then again, I'm also listening only to the audio from the chat where service we're using. Hold on a second.
So does that mean that my awesome intro just went out the window? Does that mean that everything I
No,
just
no, it
said?
didn't. I hear you. I
Okay.
hear you. I hear you. I powered through it and I heard you on it. So
Okay, I was ready.
it's a little.
I was ready to give
I know.
myself the good old
Throw yourself into that YouTube, Discord, OBS void and hope for the best.
yeah, apparently so.
Oh, good times.
uh Fun times, hectic times. It's a variety of different things. That's why we're here. We're trying to alleviate a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. For those that don't know, when I'm not possessing an adorable ghost teddy bear fighting type here, I have been packing up all my stuff and my family stuff and moving it to storage facilities and whatnot. That's what a hectic part of my life has been. It's one of those things you moved in, you had tons of friends and family, and then when you need them, when you moved into the place, it's like, well, let's see. Not friends with that person anymore. That person lives in another state. That person is no longer even on this plane of existence. So it's like, and you're the one dude who knows how to do all this. And it's like, oh man. But
Wow.
I've been doing that. I've been watching a lot of freaking anime recently that I found on Hulu
Mm-hmm.
that is dub or sub option, which I thought was amazing.
Nice. That's got to be one topic that we address ourselves as well, like sub or dub. Where do
And right,
fans stand on that?
well, let's see. We've got games, movies, and comics. R Us has joined the Pokebox, followed by 501st Pokemon Legion is in the Pokebox here at Artcast.
What's up, guys? Thank you all for being here tonight. Appreciate the love and support as always.
I thought it was funny because I believe me and you were talking back and forth, not even Pokemon Artcast related or any of that stuff was Gundam Wing, and how I haven't seen it anywhere. You'd think it'd be something you could find, and all of a sudden, like, I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep, so I put on Hulu, and I'm like, just scrolling through, just bored out of my mind. I'm like, okay, they claim all these little categories they have things. Let's see. I go scroll over their anime, and right there is Gundam Wing. I'm like, going, we're gonna put that in there. My list of things I'd like to watch at some point because I could even run that in the background when I'm working on stuff on my computer and be completely okay with it.
That's true. That's how I get things done here. I've had this old habit where if I'm going to clean my house or my room, I always put on an anime and I keep track of where I am by where I am in the anime film. It's so weird. I don't know what it is with the synchronicity, but it always allows me to kind of keep track of things.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. We've got Lawnmower is now in our Pokebox.
Mr. ECW himself, Ramower, what is up? Hope you're doing well tonight.
Yes, yes, it is. There's actually a few other good ones that are up on Hulu as well. Like there's some isekai stuff that's relatively new I've been wanting to check out. So I watched those. They're like little 13, 14 episode type series. So it's like, I could binge that and not feel too guilty about it.
You know,
Um,
I was discussing Gundam Wing a little bit with my cousin the other day, and I was asking her, I know you haven't seen much of Gundam Wing, but who do you think is the bigger softie? Would it be Catra or would it be Armin from Attack on Titan?
I don't care for Attack on Titan, so I'm not the guy to ask on that one. Like I saw it and I was like, I saw it before it came west, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be one of those like Fortnite bandwagon jump things only for anime. And sure enough, boom, it was everywhere. I mean, the GameStop I was working next to like just had tons of merch. All of a sudden, I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But
gotta I gotta admit that at first I didn't even know about it. And then one day my then roommate is watching it and I came out into the living room. I'm like, "Oh, what's this series you're watching?" And he tells me a little bit about it. A friend of his got him into it, so I watched an episode. I'm like, "Okay, this isn't bad." And then next thing you know, I'm binge watching everything that I have access to at that point. I got addicted to it. I was like, "Okay, this one's actually pretty good in my book, so I'm gonna watch it." But I will say the last half of the season of the final season has been a bit disappointing.
we've got Yugoslav video game nerd in the Poke
You
Box.
go. What is up, my friend?
We're basically catching up here, but out of the two, I'm obviously out of the two, I'm gonna be biased. 'Cause like I said, I gave Titan a chance, and I just couldn't care less about the wet blanket puffery of the series. It's like, how are you gonna show me these cool monstrous beings that are like basically Highlander rules, and then all of a sudden we're gonna have this long drawn out makes the non-Kai version of Dragon Ball Z look like an action scene garbage. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'm one of those people. I don't need 3 episodes going over why this is happening. No, I killed him, and it was a friend. Oh no! I was like, okay, man, come on. It was a shitty situation. We all move on. If you're gonna show me he has PSTD or whatever, fucking do it already. Let's not just sugarcoat this.
Right. I
I
understand.
mean, I powered through up until a female Titan, and then I was like, meh. I was like, and we're going away.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I know some people that still aren't into it as much, so that's the beauty of anime. Everybody's got their faves, get to pick and choose. A lot more diverse than it was 10, 20 years ago. Um, but yeah, I stand by I stand by Attack on Titan. I know it's not for everybody, and even I have moments where it's kind of cringe, but overall, I think it's okay.
Look, I will sit there and watch just about any Monster Girl anime right now, so I'm not one to stand on a Miranda or the Cross and be like, "Oh ho ho, you are horrible for this."
Right.
I mean, I've been victimized enough by going to like anime cons and stuff, or even in college, meeting some other anime fanatics. And what was it? I think it was Amazingo Dio or something like that. Was like huge, and I stood up and I said, I don't care for it. You would have thought I just killed somebody's puppy, burned down their family house, pissed on the ashes, got them fired, ruined their lives with a. And it's like, I just don't care for it. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I just didn't care for it. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm not saying, oh, whoever did this needs to be shot or killed. I just didn't care for it. They lost their shit. Oh my god.
See, if I had done that at the last anime convention I went to, it would have had to have been me saying One Piece sucks or Naruto sucks because there were so many cosplayers in love and support of those shows that probably would have got me
Dude.
tar and feathered.
No, the one cosplay series in my area, I used to see people constantly saying they were from this anime.
Mm-hmm.
Air Gear. It's like, I'm sorry, just because you're wearing some Hot Topic gear and on inline skates does not make you fucking Air Gear. Give me a goddamn break.
Oh boy. Ah, how do we segue from that?
Well, we segue with some good old fashioned. Do you know about this fun stuff?
Oh, you got
In,
some dirt, huh?
in regards to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we are 108 days, 5 hours, 22 minutes, and 46 minutes counting now
That close, huh?
until its release. Well, it's still sitting on a November 18th release.
Very well. And
Also,
I was gonna
hold
say,
up, I got a little
okay.
more.
I'm sorry. I'm anxious. I'm
Hold,
anxious.
hold, hold that ponytail, Mew. We got this. I'm waiting for. I can already feel the daggers coming out of that through the screen here for that one. You heard about Pokemon Company announcing on their Twitter the Pokemon Press presents video they're planning to do on the 3rd. That's this Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 6 a.m. West.
Ugh.
Sorry for all you fun people in the middle between those coasts in the United States, but it's people are speculating we're gonna hear some more dirt on Violet, Scarlet. There's also things like where they're standing on Pokemon United, Go, all that fun stuff. Everyone's kind of speculating apps and video game
Right.
updates on that, but the big thing is everyone's hoping we're going to get some more because last time we got the names of the 3 starters, then we got 3 wild Pokemon. We got to see the reveal of the professors and the cover legendaries.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like speculating. I would love if they just gave us a hint, even if it's like a blurry quick shot of like at least one of the second stage starter Pokemon.
Right.
I would be completely okay with that. Enough to say, hey, it's bipedal or it's still a quadruped. I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I was reading an article the other day that how do you say it? The little fire alligator, hippo, whatever he's supposed to be.
A
Uh,
derpy gator.
yeah. Yeah, those just do that derpy gator.
Fuecoco. It's Fuecoco.
um
It's like
his
Fuego, but they changed the G to a C, so it's like Fuecoco.
mhm. Um
Or you could go.
I heard
I
that
mean,
his final form is supposed to be based off of some I think Incan deity, something like that. But
yeah, there's been that going around. Everyone's been speculating like he's gonna be some sort of ancient Spanish based
right.
evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And that's completely okay, but I think from a derpy standpoint, if we look at Pokemon that have had that before, like for example, Mudkip, he kind of went to an even derpier second form. Then
Yeah.
he just went to that stalker that watches you sleep at night, looking for him. I mean, they did him no favors
Good
at
old
all.
Swampert.
I mean, the track record with bird Pokemon is, if it's cute, we might get a water version of Blaziken where it's like, how the hell is that considered a bird?
Yeah. Yeah, I liked the QT Torchic, and then he got derpy second evolution or first evolution, and then Blaziken is cool. I'll give him that. And I love the fact that he's got the Jin Kazuya fighting pants from Tekken. But
I saw that has a pattern, but then I was like, and the minute I saw him, like, it's Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno.
That's immediately where it first thought across my mind.
Trainer Camp in the house. What is up, good sir? I thoroughly enjoyed
Holy
your Twitch
wow.
stream earlier today. Sadly, I could not say anything other than look at my contributions to your channel. So, once again, I am always glad to be able to at least catch your live streams while I'm at work. If work allows me to, I try to say hello, but that doesn't always happen, sadly. And that goes for anybody who's in our chat today as well, because you all know I love and support all you guys, and sometimes I just can't say much because of work, but just always know I'm lurking somewhere in the shadows.
Yep, I believe I do have a Twitch channel that I've been working on putting together, and doing some part-time streaming there eventually. There's a setting on that where you can have have your channel auto host certain people. I have Camp Survivor on the little list of host people that goes through and says, "Oh, this person is being supported by me." I'm like, "Cool, works."
Mm-hmm.
But catching back to 501st here, yeah, they have been. That's why we've been like, we better get on track here and hit some Fakemon Eeveelutions. We scoured a bit on Google. I'm not gonna lie. Credit to any of the artists that did these images that we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there, and I'm hoping that someone at Game Freak or Nintendo happens to come across these on the net and decides to say, "Hey, I'll pay you to buy that copyright image from you and do something with it," because we definitely have some types in the Eeveelutions that we do not have.
Yep, but it's also been the whole, they need to counterbalance Sylveon, or give something that Sylveon specifically aggressive towards. Like last time we visited the fan evolutions for Eevee, we did Steel and Poison, which are like the go-to on that.
Right.
If I remember, like the direct right off the top, those are like nuke the shit out of Fairy type.
Exactly. So
But
we'll be looking at what have we got lined up for today? Insect type, and
we got a lot of them. It's usually up to you on which ones we end up doing.
let me pull out the Josh decks here and see what we got. I know we've got for sure lined up at least 3 different variants or 3 different types. So I guess we will definitely see where this episode takes us, and at some point when I decide I need to retire to my Pokeball for the night. So, okay, we've got theoretically 3 types lined up, because I think we discussed Steel type in the last episode we did this on, so.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Steel type and Poison we covered, so it's pretty much... I say this when I could easily just open a folder and be like, wait a minute, I made a folder for all of this. Why am I making this hard for everybody?
All right, well,
Great.
let's jump into the first segment. Let's go ahead and.
No, I got nothing. I can't even think of a proper Pokédex sound for it. I'm sorry.
It's all good. All right.
Oh, apparently we are. Who's that YouTube/content creator? Apparently, I'm
Yeah.
looking at a shared screen, so I'm like, okay, well, there we go.
Well, last
It's a good
time,
segue point. It's a good
last
segue transition.
it is, and well done again on the cue card there. So I picked last week's who's that YouTuber or content creator. So Josh, who was your pick?
We picked Linda, the gamer gal. Of course, everyone here probably knows her, as we seen transition there away from her.
I'm going back to the screen. Don't worry. There we go. All right, Linda, longtime member of the retro community and Advent D&D player, which I
She
learned not.
recently had she had to change her name from girl because apparently, even though she was marking her stuff as adult content, she was getting these complaints that she was advertising to kids, and it's like, is it the girl in my name?
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
it was such a
oof.
weird situation, but we're just glad she's still active in the scene, changing her name, whatever
Oh,
she's got
yeah,
to do. Lots of
she's
great
determined.
content.
She's determined. I mean, she's got a nice little brand going, and she felt, okay, I gotta risk this because this is ridiculous. I don't want
Hmm.
to have nothing that I put all this effort into.
Speaking of which, there she is.
YouTuber, yes! We've got Linda the Gamer Gal. Speak of the devil, as they say.
Yep.
Welcome to the Pokebox. Then we have Queen Ariel. Welcome. You are a new face around here. We have not seen you before. Welcome, welcome to our Pokebox here in the Pokemon Artcast. Of course, we've got Camp Survivor and Geeks with Cash, in case I haven't recapped that. But Linda did just put out a new video about Wizards of the Coast and how she feels they clickbaited a bunch of people with the new they put out for D&D, which I watched. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of BS.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, she's like, okay, she came straight out, was honest. I usually try to support the local businesses, not get stuff, from the mom and pop game shops. Which,
Right.
to be fair, with rising gas prices making it even worse for them, because people are having to be more choosy where they go.
Mm-hmm. I was just
You
trying.
know,
I was just trying
it's
to
like,
find her other D&D video here that I thoroughly enjoyed because it was a topic that I didn't know was actually that bad. I'm used to my gaming circles. I know pretty much everybody that I play with, but apparently there are some things that are going on in the D&D scene that I was not aware of. So if you are a
yeah,
D&D player, definitely check out some of her videos where she addresses a lot of changes and a lot of experiences with the game and most importantly with the players because we all know the players can make or break your enjoyment when it comes to D&D. So, but
of course. And then we just had Jalen Jamison Spectrix has entered the Pokebox here at Artcast. Welcome. But yeah, you can see just from him scrolling, there's plenty of other games or even some merch she's talked about on her channel.
mhm. Linda does tend to stream at least once a week every so often. Times, days may vary, but you can always check out her channel for updates on that.
Don't
And
forget that she has a very active Twitter where she will post like victory game screens of completing games that she doesn't necessarily stream live, which I respect because sometimes you just want to play a game and
exactly.
not be like, oh, I was streaming this. Now I can't really advance, but I really want to play this, but I can't really advance because that would be a dick move. Or there's gonna get that one person who's gonna be like, "You hacked because you weren't here." It's like
But yeah.
catch 22. You want to have fun with your friends, but you don't want to have fucking debate what your choices are. And I am just killing that G rating here. I am
Yeah.
just dropping bombs.
I think that pretty much went out the window.
That's how we talk when we were doing our audio tests and everything. We're like, F that. That's it. I'm like, okay.
Right. But
Let us quickly eat our meals, munching in each other's ears.
but you
You
all know
got your
how I
news
feel.
on?
Y'all know how I feel about our fellow content creators out there. Do yourselves a favor, check out Linda's channel, show her some love and support if you haven't done so already, and hope you all can make her live streams when you can. It's always a bummer when I miss them because it's usually because I get called in on the weekend sometimes, but I've been trying to make more of an effort to say, hey, I'm at least here. I just can't talk like I do with everybody else.
Man, I haven't even had that option. There's some people I've been exhausted and I just pass out. I'm like asleep already or still sleeping. Then there's times I've been in a few of people's things on Twitch and on YouTube where I'm watching, I just have nothing to say. I literally just have nothing to say.
Fair enough.
It's not like any kind of hate there. Oh, here we go. I love this. This is like the first freaking title card I put together for Artcast right here. I was like, hey.
And I know I used the little bat transition effect there. I want to find a way to put Zubat in there. Or Noibat, maybe.
Well, there's people who make those little transitions, but last time I was quoted there, Zomnia, I was quoted for a custom somebody wanted $200 for, and I was like, nope.
Yikes.
I'm like, let me just wait and see if I can figure it out with good old fashioned DIY YouTube videos and see if I can do it cheaper later. Good lord.
Fair enough. Cheap is always the best way, if not free.
If you can do it, for sure.
You won't catch me doing that anytime soon, though. I tried my hands at editing, and I got the gist of it so far, but then it all went out of my brain. I can't remember any of it now.
The fans want to see us talk about this. I'm sure they're like, "Come on, man! You guys been beating around the bush. Let's get to the name of the video here."
All right, pulling out the old Josh Dex here. I honestly would love a Pokedex in these colors. I would. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, well, yes, it is very much in, my channel's color scheme. I'm not gonna lie there. The purple and the black tends to be associated with my channel. I'll take that hit on the chin there and be like, yeah, I was kind of working on multiple projects when I made that. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
I was multitasking and color schemes got blended. But then again, it looks really sick. I'm sorry.
It does. It does. I would rock a Pokedex with these colors. I might even buy one and customize it just because I can. All right.
It's like, this is my prop now when you see me at conventions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. First up, bug type Eeveelutions. Eeveelutions, I should say. Right off the bat, I dig this one.
The one that's got like that mantis or locust feel to it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I dig this one.
This one somebody put a lot of effort into. I mean, I'm gonna go venture and say it's a little more fantasy JRPG-ish than a Pokemon, but I still like it.
It's got a little bit of like Scyther, but then we've got the beetle mandibles, which are really, really cool. I like that that's headgear. Maybe the evolution would be able to pinch them. I don't know.
I mean, it definitely says, okay, this is why this Pokemon can do things like guillotine or Hell, there's a few bug exclusive moves that wouldn't make sense if they didn't have that kind of attachment to them, or Mega Horn, or any of that kind of stuff. You know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And despite the fact that Guillotine has a very low hit rate anyway, how badass would that be if you threw out an evolution that could do that and just one hit kill, wham, gets it, boom, done. Because
Well, 501 brings up a good point. Mandibles look like Big Voltas to him. That could be.
mm-hmm.
That's a good call.
Let me move the pop out chat just a little bit.
Dun, 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 dun,
If
dun,
it
dun,
allows me.
dun, dun,
There
dun,
we
dun, dun,
go.
dun. Man,
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to do that on my own channel. I'm gonna have to bug you one time, be like, "Come on, I know we got life outside of our streaming and retro community, but I need you for once to give me some tech advice. Poke, poke, poke."
Bug me. Ba-dum bump. All right, let's boot up the next entry. And again, we're not really coming up with names for these. We're more so just looking at the fan art and the concepts that they go with. Because a lot of these are just
Or
amazing.
when I was putting together the bug ones, man, I really was like digging hard. I got into some spots where they started just repeating the same lame designs. I'm like, that's not really okay. I don't need to see the same butterfly one over and over again. Come on, people. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see some crazy original stuff.
Hence the Queen Bee look of this Eeveelution.
Yep. And there's other bee themed ones, but I just thought this one was very nice. I was like one of the first ones I saw. I was like, this is awesome.
This is.
Yeah, I got in trouble in my math class. Real quick point here. 501st, because I was like back fire red yellow,
Mm-hmm.
not fire red blue yellow. I was, rather than doing my math problems, I was sitting there in my in my little notebook that was really a sketchbook, just sitting there trying to come up with custom Pokemon. They did not like. I got caught a couple of times. Like, you have to have detention unless you have to bus home. I'm like, well, I have to bus home. Then we're contacting your mother. I'm like, go for it.
Now
But
this
anyway, back on topic.
this one has a set of wings and what, 6 legs?
Yep, it's
Huh.
pulling off more of that bug like thing. That okay, that would make sense. They have more than that because bugs generally do have more than 4 legs
Mm-hmm.
or 2 legs, depending on the Pokemon we're comparing to.
I think I could get behind
But
this design too because, with the exception of Combee and Vespiquen, we really don't have. I mean, we don't have a lot of bee representation, and we know that
I
cats have
mean,
been done to death. So,
it could even pass to me. You could say it was oh, you forgot Beedrill, by the way.
yes, Beedrill. Mm-hmm.
You could tell me this was a yellow jacket or a wasp, and I'd be completely okay.
Exactly. And we
But
all.
that fluffy mane around its neck definitely says B to me.
Mm-hmm. By the way, if those of you who are watching have a hard time seeing this wherever you are, let me know and I'll resize it if we need to. All right, let's pull up the next one. Whoa!
A little out there, bud. You okay?
Yeah, a little out there. We've got Skorupi's tail going on back there, and
Of course, you can't have all amazing designs. Some is just like it's so peculiar and odd that it could be a bug, and by all means, why not?
I mean it looks a little too extraterrestrial for me, I think.
You think it's a Deoxys style evolution.
In a
It
way,
was out.
yeah.
It was from space.
minus the minus the Twizzler pull and peel arms. Yeah, it does kind
Oh,
of
I
give
mean
me
the
that.
Twizzlers. You got something wrong with Twizzler, the rogue Twizzlers just losing their shit and then having various forms they can take?
Oh, not at all. In fact, I'm a big fan of Twizzlers. I like those more than Red Vines. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. I'm a little indifferent about it. I think
It's
it needs a little more.
it needs a little more, or it's one of those things I appreciate they try to stick to the old Pokemon like booklet design.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that a lot that they try to stick to the original traditional art style.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, okay, like there's a whole thing you could have done with the back a little bit. Like you could have gave me some wings, or hell, if you gave me a second tail, a little Scorpies theme style scorpion tail, I would have been like, okay,
Yeah, I feel like this one could use just a little bit more in terms
more
of.
polish.
Yeah, I feel like this is just a little too safe, if that makes sense.
And we've got video game lover 58 in our Pokebox. Welcome. You say safe. I think this is like somebody just wanted to design a Pokemon and may have been like in a group design art party and got the shitty luck of the draw kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Eeveelution and Bug. It's
Yeah.
like, okay. They're like, I have no idea what to do.
Yeah. I think this one could use like a little bit more of an upgrade. But that's okay.
Not all of
Uh
them are going to be winners.
this is like if you had swapped Celebi.
No, this is that bastard son of Celebi and a lost EV you heard about that never came to be.
What's
He's not bad though.
again, I feel like this is one that just plays it a little too safe, a little too, not as detailed. I don't know. So I mean, in my opinion, so far we've seen a few that are willing to push the boundaries with creativity, and then so far we've seen a couple ones that are a little too soft compared to edgier ones we've already looked at.
Let me put it this way: if this one had a second set of an additional, let's just say for the sake of it, 6 legs, do you think that would help its design a little bit for you?
I think this one definitely could have benefited from wings on its head and maybe wings on its back. Or sides.
Fair.
Or sides. Because
Maybe gave him those scyther blades just on either side of his back.
maybe. It just screams Celebi to me. It doesn't really reflect much.
Once again, very neutral feel here, huh?
Yeah. Like it just
Or
needs
is
a little
it
bit more.
different?
Uh hmm. Uh,
What What do you think of its color scheme?
color scheme fits a bug.
You
Does
like that banana chocolate, huh?
Well, it definitely gives me like butterfly or a wasp vibe or hornet, but
No,
it's not enough to
it's
save it in my opinion.
it's very monarch butterfly themed to me.
Yeah.
It's like you were saying how it could have used more tails or more like additional wings or something. The wing, it's got kind of wing-like ears. Then its tail is basically the butterfly wings. So that thing is probably flying by its ass, literally.
But does it have more than one ass wing? I guess like
I think it does. I think for the angle they chose to draw it, it was too hard to look right and not
Uh-huh.
look like overly crowded where you would have lost like the ear and then been like, okay, where's it's only got one ear.
Yeah, because otherwise it just looks like a Beautifly got stuck in an Eeveelution's butt.
It looks like a Jolteon got mange.
Yeah, yeah. This, I mean, it's different compared to it's different compared to the other ones so far, but still a little too safe for my taste.
And we've got Bozo Calvin Jr. in our Pokebox.
Stop twerking. Hey, how else do I get this Pokeball rocking? I gotta twerk.
What Pokeball? Last I checked, you have been caught because everyone that believed that whole you were hiding under a under a truck in Cinnabar had been mysteriously, savagely beaten, and the truck never moved.
Yeah, apologies to everybody who tried that hack and tried to get a Machop to strength move that truck. I wasn't there. Oh no, see this is me twerking in Pokeball style.
Catch you with a Pokeball knife. That is Zombie's way there.
Yep. Ew.
Uncle Josh. What the hell? Anyway, I am uncle to only one person on this planet. Sorry.
Okay, so again, we have the bee, maybe hornet inspired design.
This one, they got a little more daring with the colors. I
Yeah.
mean, this one's more flamboyant, at least. This is like, okay, I really dig the more insect-like legs on it.
Yeah, I love the fact that his feet are stingers. That is kind of cool.
It's, I mean, this almost, if anything, this screams more like a moth to me than anything else. Like,
Mm-hmm. Even the
with this
intent,
design.
the ears and the head would even reflect that for sure. I don't know why it's rocking a pink scarf.
Well, I there's a type of moth that's like very ornate looking, like very
Mm-hmm.
colorful. I forget what it's called, but I think that's where they're basing their design off of for color
Mm.
scheme. Because most moths you'll see in the Western Hemisphere and towards the Midwest are not as vibrant colored because
Yeah.
the area doesn't call for it. It's like you're super vibrant. We've got all these migratory birds that would love to meet you.
Right. That's exactly how they get lined up for dinner. So I do like it,
Is
but it's
is
lacking.
fun. Well, I even like the way its head even has more of a subtle insect feel to it, though.
Yeah.
Even the eyes kind of say, I'm a bug themed Pokemon."
Give it wings
I
or something else.
I think that's what are folded down, are actually the with the yellow stripe and the pink. I think
Mm-hmm.
those are wings.
Oh, it would have been
I
better
think
if they highlighted them then.
I think it's more they went for this subtle. It's on land kind of, and you kind of spotted it as opposed to an action shot probably where
Mm-hmm.
its wings would have been open.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can tell this was definitely Sylveon inspired.
Oh, you mean the one that like you see when you just put in fan bug evolution is like everywhere?
Yep. Kudos
Yeah,
for the ear designs though. It's cool to see that the ears are actually like wings.
I guarantee you its Pokemon power is Intimidate.
You think the wings would like fan out and then they look like giant
I
eyeballs?
it looks like it borrows from Mascarin.
Mm-hmm.
With it has like the false eyes, which a lot of that's why on a lot of winged insects you see a circular design. It's the false eye to try to scare away predators or intimidate prey.
Right.
That's why I said is probably his Pokemon power would be Intimidate. It looks like a Pokemon that would probably be a lot of Dust type moves.
Yeah. But I think this one definitely has a unique design to it. I feel like this one is just edgy enough that I could probably get behind it, but so far the first two have been my best competitors.
I feel you there, Calvin. I feel you there.
Well, Jinx needs some competition, so why not, right?
Exactly.
There you go. Make a humanoid evolution, even though DeviantArt probably has tons of them.
I'm not even going there, man. DeviantArt is like it's a wild west sometimes when you put in something in their search engine. It's like some things they say oh you can't that violates our TOS, and then you see a ton of things that are like way worse, and I'm like okay. This one I thought is so cool. This next bug evolution.
I like
So they
that.
took this. He's got that spider vibe, and I'm like way into it.
Yes. Yeah, I love that he's got the not Joltik, but what is his evolution called again? Uh
Uh,
Galvantula?
Tarantula or something like that.
Galvantula or
There you
something.
go.
Yeah. I feel like he's got those legs back there rocking them. Although
He's got an edgelord vibe, sadly, to him.
I kind of feel like he could have benefited from two more. Like you've got his Eevee legs, but then you also got the Galvantula legs on the sides.
You mean instead of the twin tail Gargantuan style spinner legs that are probably spinneret more, maybe
Mm-hmm.
dial those down a little shorter and give him
Yeah.
an extra set.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
I would like to see some sort of arachnid type of design.
I mean this thing is almost like Gona guy monster vibe evolution in a subtle way when you think about it, when you look at his face and how he's kind of streamlined.
Mm-hmm. Little
I mean,
Devilman esque.
if I was gonna say what it real like, if I was gonna pick an anime was going a guy's name on, Getter Robo Armageddon, the monster goo type shit from that is what it reminds me of,
Mm-hmm.
which is good because I really liked Getter Robo Armageddon back when it first came out.
And I believe that is it for the bug types, at least as far as what we were or what you were able to get for our episode. I mean, there's a ton of these out
See,
there, folks, but
these are just the best ones at the time of making them we could find that were like we could talk about these.
yeah,
These
for
ones
sure.
deserve some recognition. I mean, there's channels devoted to when the people will send in their art to.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not that kind of fish. Sorry, we are literally not. Quite literally. The recap. What were your two favorite ones, and what was the worst one that you and your one I really dislike one as a bug evolutions we talked about.
uh, I'd have to go with my favorite ones being the first two. So
First two, I agree. I get the first two.
yeah.
Though I'd have to say this last one is really to say it was number three, which I believe was that green, really safe looking scorpion tailed one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
It
first
was
two
kind of
definitely
fun.
have my vote.
I mean, color they seem to lean towards was either yellow or green when it comes to bug.
Yeah.
Like when it came to Pokemon, what color they were gonna think for Pokemon? green and yellow for an Eeveelution
Mm-hmm.
combination. But yeah, this one that's on screen now is my least favorite, number 3.
That one's probably my least favorite too. Um, aside from the tail, I mean, I couldn't even tell if it was an insect type just looking at it. Really, there's not much going for it. At least the
I
other
mean, if you,
ones kind of encapsulate a
hell,
bug design, but don't push the envelope.
I mean, if you took off the stinger-like part of that tail and changed it the green to a brown, maybe made a little bit of like insinuation that the eyes were crystals, you could easily call this a rock type.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But there you have our judgment, folks. Hopefully, you guys had a couple colors that you think you guys
Whoa.
and let us know that we are full of shit on our judgments on these fan created Pokemon. I would love to read them. How about you, Mew?
Of course I would. I value some constructive criticism when it comes to these things. That's why we love
Of
having
course.
these open debates. Love to see what everybody's tastes are and what they feel would benefit from having a design like this, or even coming up with an original creation. By all means, do
I
so.
mean, I will say when I was looking for them when we were putting these together, I was trying to see if I could find a good ant themed one because I think either a spider or ant would almost be perfect to combo with an Eeveelution.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think those would work really well. I mean, I'm not gonna take away from the bee wasp family kind of
Yeah,
because those.
we need to have mons that represent insects that people are actually scared of.
I go first. If you get your custom Pokemon designed, and you want us to feature it on the show, you can definitely reach out to us, and we can make that happen. We will definitely
Absolutely.
talk about it. That goes for anybody. If you have your own OC Pokemon that you want to share with the world, and you don't mind us putting it on our show, we are more than welcoming to do it for you.
And
Hell, if
also,
you want to also maybe even pop in and give us a where your thought process was, we'll have you on the show.
yep, that's exactly what I was going to bring up.
Great minds think alike on that one.
Yes, sir. All
The
right.
least we can do, just don't strike us with a copyright claim saying we said you stole my art. It's like no, we said very clearly every time we've done Fakemon decks, we don't own it. We don't any of that. We even said you could show up and give us permission.
Yep. We just highlight it.
Exactly.
All right. So, moving on. Ghost types.
I've wanted a ghost type freaking since they gave us Umbreon and Espeon. I thought that was like the next step we were gonna get. What about
Mm-hmm.
you?
I honestly am surprised that there was not a ghost type evolution, considering that, oh, what? We didn't get a second ghost until Gen 2, maybe? With Mischievous?
Yeah, we
And,
didn't. It was Mischievous and ghost types. Let's see. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, which is never a good thing. There was the Gengar line, and there was Mischievous. Yeah, I think we didn't really get much. Ghost types didn't really pick up until like third gen, I think.
mm-hmm.
Because I
Yep.
wanted to say, oh, Duskull, but then I'm like, no, Duskull was and Bayonet were, or oh no, we had wait, I think Shuppet was third gen. Pretty sure Shuppet was third gen or maybe fourth gen because it turns into one of my favorite ones, Bayonet or however you want to enunciate it. But it was one of the few with Mega Evolutions I was like, oh, that is so cool.
mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm really shocked that a ghost evolution has not existed for this long. You know, the I think approaching the counterbalance of how to balance out Sylveon is a definite plus. Need to find a way to kind of balance her out, but I think the addition of a ghost type is long overdue.
I mean, I'm willing to just take it and say, if they decide they want to break tradition and we don't get a counter to Sylveon. I hope they'd pick Ghost because Ghost is like most people I meet. Ghost is like one of their favorite is in their like top 5 types. They usually
Mm-hmm.
have a Ghost Pokemon that's like their favorite one to use. It's not Cookie Cutter.
Right.
But let's hear about your thoughts on this design. I personally really like this whole disembodied kind of ghost feel. Like this would be something you would hear walking but not see necessarily.
I agree. I love the fact that the limbs are definitely not attached. It adds to like what this Pokemon could potentially do as far as attacks go. And
I mean,
I just like the mystery design of it, you know?
it's very much got that classic ghost Pokemon vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it could, you said it knew Shadow Sneak, there would be no question it knew Shadow Sneak.
Mhm.
Or it
I
pulls off
can
Will the Wisp. Even it's like that fits its design too, because you look how its mane and its legs are.
yeah, I can definitely get behind this one right off the bat.
Time.
Whoops.
I got this. And to answer your question, to answer your question, Calvin, well, we solved technical difficulties here. I believe every show we have concluded that we are going to be picking up a copy of the game to play. Whether we actually choose to do a kind of fun stream with it, we haven't really figured out yet.
Right.
But if you want to see us actually, which was kind of the start of Artcast, was the idea we were having way too much fun, like simultaneously playing and being on long calls. You would too. We would be sitting there like both talking to each other, and then we'd be playing the game. Like, hey, did you find this yet? I'm still pissed you got that shiny, man. What the hell? I've been farming it forever, and you just walked in there. It was.
The alpha Pokemon debate was always fun. Like, oh, where did you find the alpha at, or where did you even find Munchlax? I remember that was driving fellow trainer Hector the Collector a little crazy because he's like, I could never get one to spawn.
It's there's a specific spot, and you have to do. It's actually early in the game, and it was like you had to eliminate certain things, and then like go back and forth until it was done, until maybe it spawned. But it would
Hmm.
also had that it could bolt really quick and disappear.
Yeah, one of the most annoying, but not too difficult. I think.
It was not an Abra. Let's put it that way. With some
Yes.
ridiculous catch
Oh.
me count, catch 20 Abra without being seen kind of shit. It's like they have the highest AoE aggro range in the fucking game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we've
I don't
got.
get behind that one at all.
I did it. When I did it, I was like, "Thank God, thank you." I don't have to worry about her anymore.
Hey, what's up, Mike? How's it going? Hope you
Welcome
are
to our Pokebox.
hope you are doing well, sir. Another fellow Pokemon trainer.
See here, we've got the popular mummy-esque theme going for this one, which looks cool. I will give it to them. Somebody put some thought into almost like a zombie, almost like Resident Evil zombie like Eevee here.
Yeah, we need a
I'm just,
zombie type.
I mean, I don't know if I'm like a super fan of the droopy ears though to him. I feel like maybe like they could have done like maybe he had pointy ears and like a chunk was missing or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because with the droopy ears, it kind of makes me feel like okay, you could literally make this its own dog Pokemon and nobody would question it. But I like where the risk in the design of this.
Yeah. And I mean, we have I can never say his name right. And he's one of
Um,
our catcher trash today. Kaffa Gigris?
are you talking about the first one or the one that was in Sword and Shield?
No, the first one that looks like an
The
Egyptian
mummy,
tomb. Yeah,
the mummy one that involves off Mask.
yeah.
Yeah, I gave up trying to say his name a long time ago.
um, I like that design, and I really wish that there was more like Egyptian themed. I mean, I guess you could count Lucario because I named mine Anubis.
It's a popular thought.
But I think a little more Egyptian themed ones would have been cool. And when I was looking at some fan art, I came across an Eeveelution that was decked out like an Egyptian king, but I think they classified him as either a ground or rock type, and I was like, that could have done as a ghost type too. I think.
Yeah, there are some that are like that. It's like, wait, why are you calling it this? Then you're like, okay, whatever. We're just gonna move on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with this one, this design, you could probably give some sort of like, depending on like sunny day effect, like cast form has, depending on the weather or something, but make it for time of day. Maybe
Yeah.
during the day he's all regal looking. At night, he's mummy, this like mummy looking thing. That could work.
Yeah.
They very much could work,
I
but that would
mean.
also involve a lot of design and a lot of programming.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they did it with the day and night transitions. I don't see why they couldn't do it
Yeah,
here.
I mean, what you'd have to do is make a stipulation like sunny day, the move sunny day turns it would be considered daylight, and like what's the move? I think like moonlight could be considered if it used that would turn it into the night form. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it could be done. There's multiple ways. It's just it would be a mess to debug too when you think about it, because it'd be like, wait a minute, how do we tell the program to only for this specific Pokemon when this happens it triggers this and it doesn't affect the rest of the game in any kind of major glitchy way?
Right. But nonetheless, I think I think also like I like the mummy design. Maybe make it look more spectral though, like eliminate the back legs, or maybe make it so that um, maybe if he had like the Egyptian Horus wings in the back too, like bandaged up or something. Make it look spectral is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
take some,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, this fits the ghost theme though. If you told me it was a ghost, if it was a ghost type, I would totally believe you. Hell, I believe it was a dark type if you told me it was a dark type.
Until we get an undead type. You heard it, folks. Nominate zombies as a type of Pokemon.
Man, that's not fair because then how are you gonna do it with the Parasect in Paris though? Because they're already dual typed.
Well, they'll be the first triple type.
Yeah, the thing we've all been pulling for forever, along with legit four stage evolutions.
Yeah.
And we've got dad level podcasting joining us in our lovely Pokebox. Welcome.
Mm-hmm. Last episode's YouTuber content creator, if I recall.
Five officials got me there. I didn't even think of Cherim. So there's half the battle right there. Cherim does that. It has a form shift.
Or what if you incorporate a stone?
You
What if you
make it be like kind of like what is it? Some of the legendary Pokemon that have if they hold it, they have an alternate form.
mm-hmm.
I
Like
gotcha.
a decay stone, or you
Well,
know, like a glorified
they
stone, and he looks actually like you could take the mummy form and make it the decayed form evolution, or you can give it another stone and he looks more of like a bright Egyptian spirit, you know.
basically something like, oh, it's holding the Sunstone,
Yeah,
so it looks like this, or it's holding the Dust Stone, so it looks like this.
exactly.
I mean, that is a way simpler way to do it.
So that way you can pick and choose, you know.
I mean, definitely would work. I mean, it's just be figuring out how it evolved into that to begin with would be tricky, but not undoable.
Mm-hmm. But
Or you,
this one definitely has my vote.
he, oh no, there you go. You could get as a Kingstone. He could evolve with that, and then his ability make it just a Pokemon power that says depending on which one of those two stones he's holding is how he looks.
Actually, that would make sense because you give him the King's Rock, and then he looks like a vibrant, but he's also a very, he's a ghost, obviously, but you give him the Egyptian king headdress, and he looks like a free floating, you know,
Yep,
Egyptian
I get
god.
it.
But then you give him
Totally
the,
got it.
yeah. Oh, that would work so well.
Yes, I'm crazy creative sometimes. I'm sorry. I told you it goes where it wants to. I wasn't joking when we met and I said that.
Copyright.
Copyright. They probably already did that and we're like behind the ball here. Like we already thought about that. What the hell are you talking about?
Where have you guys been? Yo, trainer K2J, what is up?
We've got K2J Extreme in the Pokebox. Welcome, welcome. So I think number two, we've definitely probably we entire talk. Oh my lord.
We definitely went above and beyond with this design. So again, this one's got my
We
vote
went
too.
we went engineering here. Like, let's make this a thing.
Okay, now here we've got something really freaking creepy. I dig this one too.
Oh yeah. The ghost ones can go from very creepy to very fun. That's why I'm like, why don't we have an evolution? Because you look at Umbreon, almost every illustration of Umbreon, he's always super serious looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at things, and Jolteon almost always is in an action pose. Then you've got that cutesy mystique kind of thing that the rest of them tend to do a lot. Well, Glaceon, a lot of them has that just cold snow bitch vibe constantly.
Right. I get what you're saying with that. And this one still has that sort of like mysterious but also playful look that Marshadow has, for example. But I have no doubt in my mind if you saw this thing in like a dark alley or out in the woods somewhere, it would definitely take your soul.
it reminds me of that shadow people ghost type vibe
Yeah, exactly. Like this
with
is
just
when you
a hint of like Litwick Chandelier evolution line kind of
yeah,
addition to it.
yeah, like you don't want this one, following you around or hanging out in the background kind of vibe. No, sir.
It loves shadows. It likes to hang on to a
Mhm.
shadow it likes.
Yep. So, and then of course you've got the double feature going on where the ears could pass as like giant scary eyes, a la oh, I just blanked on his name. The deer.
The one from X and Y,
Oh, no,
is
no,
that the
no.
one? Antler.
Stantler. Yes.
And it's like what was I can't remember the region exclusive evolution he just got in Arceus. But
I
we're on the same page. We're on the same page. And yeah, the ghost horse from Sword and Shield's expansion.
mhm.
Yeah, I've yeah, I could see that a little bit. I honestly with Sword and Shield kind of just fizzled out for me, which I've only ever encountered three other Pokemon games if you want to count them as individuals. The Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, the original GBA ones.
Mhm.
I beat them, and I just really, really, when I unlocked what I needed for like breeding special moves into other games, never went back to like level grinding or anything in it. I was like, got my fill, moving on.
And I'm done.
Pretty much.
Yep. But I could get behind this one too. I think this one has.
The ghost is gonna be a hard one because there's a lot of good ghost
Uh,
designs.
I'm already struggling with these because so far I've liked every one. Every one has definitely been a win.
I mean, You think about Ghost fan evolution, like I said, has had pretty much since gold and silver and crystal to really like get people going for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you were to say that was the start point where people were saying that, there you go, kind of thing. This one's
Oh.
just trippy looking. I just really like this one.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is a good one too.
This is somebody just took a chance. They're like, what if Eevee just straight up died? Kind of vibe. And died angry.
I almost want to see the torso like rotted, or like maybe even like the the fur could be very like thin, and then you could see like the skeletal structure in the
See,
inside.
that's a great idea, but my thing is if you like got rid of the upper legs like on the very first one and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of had it like the lower leg kind of look like a flame thing and it's like almost disconnected looking, it would be very much like, oh my lord, that is like an Eevee from hell back with a vengeance. You know,
Yeah, because
like it's literally a wisp kind
I
of Pokemon.
exactly, and that's what I love about like the I love about the design, especially the parts that look like they're on fire. Yeah, I agree, Mike. A shadow fire type, like a ghost fire
Very
type.
much, very much so.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, Eeveelutions are not known for being dual types.
sadly.
I don't think we'll ever get until we officially get through like all the typings that it doesn't have. I don't think we'll be dueling up anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And there seems to be for a minute that whole the only guy on because they really didn't have any intent after Leafeon and Glaceon. Which,
Some.
I am all fine and dandy with that. I love Leafeon's design. I just hate that its moveset kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, what have we got here?
This one was just too, like, Mew. This is like, I wanted to make a joke. This is, look what happens when somebody tried to gene splice us. and use an Eevee as a, has that whole building template for, like, Vino stories kind of feel there.
Yeah.
I,
I
this one just unfortunately it does not scream Eevee to me at all.
No, it doesn't. This seems like it would be
Yes,
like a humanoid ghost type.
this is like if we just decided to say Mew got a new ability to switch form or something, or this was going to be the Mew of the region. This would be like a ghost Mew kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, an Eve Mew kind of feel there. And we've got Hector the game collector. Yep, in the Poke Box. We are just zooming along a little bit, though. I had a feeling Bug wouldn't have been as long as the Ghost because we both agree Ghost types are like one of our favorites in common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one
Like,
I can say humanoid ghost type, but not evolution enough. But good.
I mean, this is basically like somebody was like, I really, really like wanted to look for something different. Like maybe they were trying to spot the movie or eating you kind of vibe
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of lost the Eevee feel.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's cool. If it's a ghost, I could see it being in this kind of pose because, it's a ghost. It could easily, float around, move irregularly like that.
Right.
But the super long tail with, like, the little ghost cage is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like, okay, if it was on all floors, that tail is, like, way too long.
Yeah. A little out there, but not bad, but not an evolution, in my opinion.
It's probably at this rate going to be the least favorite one of these designs that I'm going to have to struggle with.
Hey, Vincenzo, welcome. Welcome to the
Hmm,
Artcast.
We've got some Vincenzo Volts is in the Pokebox, huh?
Yep,
And we've got a lot of fun people just passing in here.
loving it. Loving it a lot. And I love the fact that chat is voicing their opinions on these Eeveelutions because I don't know what it's going to take to get some of these made, man. It's depressing. There's so many cool designs.
One point, yeah, pretty much before I decided to be an adult and have quote unquote that career, I used to sign freaking tons of petitions saying, "Hey, we want this in the game. Come on, man!"
Make it
Trying to
happen.
show, and after I haven't. There's only nowadays I could think two petitions I was actually successful joining. The one to get Star Ocean X on the anime, and I think it was one to get a certain RPG game out back then. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was,
Mm-hmm.
but moving on back onto the next ghost type here. Like that segue there.
Yep. Uh,
This one's definitely better than the last one. I'll give it that. It's more Eevee.
it is more Eevee. Could use a little more Ghost.
A little less Houndour feel for you.
Yeah, because that's what this screams to me when I look at it.
I think what happens is the fact that it chose to have like an animal skull in the middle of his head really kind of messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if to me, I think it would have been cooler if that was its thing. It's like you've got these horn offshoots. It's got the skeleton head like Cubone, then these flaming Eevee ears out the sides. It would have looked cool. Like holy shit!
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you made that little change, it would look amazing. You keep the body the way it is, keep the ears, keep the tail, and I'd be super on board. Hell, you could even put those glowing orange eyes in the little black holes, and I'd be like, dude, that's wicked. But at least this one looks like they had a theme in mind. They said, let me borrow some things I like from other Pokemon to incorporate into it. It did not go horribly rogue, and we're calling it an Eeveelution when it's like, it's a Ghost Mew.
Right. But I get too much of a Duskull slash Houndour feel from it. I feel like it could. I feel like it's on the right track, but it's not there yet.
Mike's all, it's got an Eevee and Cubone had a baby vibe
Mm-hmm.
going. I mean, it's one of those things. I think there's good bones on this. Like, if Game Freak was to say, okay, we liked this image right here to work with, making minor tweaks to it, like I said, I could get behind it. I wouldn't struggle with it as much. Mind
Mm-hmm.
you, some of the ones we've seen before, I think would be amazing. Like the very first one, I love that concept. Just that whole, yeah, this could be that thing you hear in an abandoned building making sounds and you don't see anything.
Yeah. Like you could look at it and go, "This is something I would expect to pull some kind of prank, or that like it might be either playful mischief or it could be like I'm gonna scare the hell out of you
Like
mischief."
this one definitely has that, like, probably would have some text entry about wanting to drag souls to hell kind of vibe
Mm-hmm.
in its flavor text. And we've got J Chip Show has entered our Pokebox. Welcome. With the hashtag, I'm assuming that's YouTube Mafia.
Yep.
We are not a gang affiliated or organized crime affiliated podcast, thank you. But
Never ask about my YouTube. Gotta sneak
yeah,
that.
I'm honestly, I thought about this. You made a joke, and I'm like, okay, we're safe to do this. I'm like waiting now for like the NWO kind of crap. Now we're gonna have a different YTM freaking group running around calling them, YTM, the pack or something, I'm gonna be like, oh man, this is gonna go all sideways. This is gonna be where I go, okay, I'm just watching one organization until these two rival groups in this one organization sort it out.
Fair enough. A Pokemon add a
See,
fusion aspect. Hmm.
that has been a thing for a while. People have wanted to see, like, ever since I can guarantee you, ever since Beano's toys. Back then, everyone was like, "That is such
Yep.
a freaking cool idea."
Why haven't they done it yet? Yep. I was one of them.
Because that wasn't them. That wasn't them. That was actually an actual anime writer that didn't know very much about Pokemon, and apparently just made that. That's like how we had the giant Dragonite that we never said was Dragonite.
Mm-hmm. Even though you could clearly tell it was.
We all at that point we're like, okay, if Dragonite's really that big in the big, I need to catch that Pokemon in the game now.
Mm-hmm.
Because who doesn't want a giant dragon, even if dragon? But then you see when we did finally see what he looked like, he's like the derpiest freaking thing coming off of the most cute and elegant thing. It's like, oh, it's like, oh,
We're getting a lot of mileage out of the word derpy today.
derpy. It's a
Derpy.
safe word that doesn't get us in trouble.
Fair enough.
I mean, when you think about it, it's not. Most people don't get offended by it, so.
Yeah.
But everyone has a good idea of what it means.
Technically, I am, yeah. Gotta represent somehow for sure. And that's all I'm saying about that.
Am I supposed? What do you mean, J Chip? Am I supposed to be like now? I'm marked because I don't freaking go. I'm a mafia member. Well, some real life freaking history here outside of the digital spectrum. I literally come from a family of multi generational cops and actual criminals that are in the system. So I just literally apparently one of the rare few in my family bloodline that's like had no interest in either party to be a member in that. I'm like, nope. I'm gonna be a creative. I'm not gonna go extreme criminal or extreme law enforcement. And back on track, yes. The closet fusion aspect we've received in Melmetal.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda, but not really. 'Cause, I mean, they don't really acknowledge him in the games. Like he was that weird, for all intents and purposes, he was a tie-in from Go. And how to get him? They made him a limited freaking Pokemon that you could for like an event that you could get, and then you had to be able to transfer it to the game. And most Pokemon, in some way, you can always get outside of one way. Melmetal is like that one you don't really get. There's like no, they've never used him.
Yeah, sadly they haven't, but they've found interesting ways to bring them in the games so far. Like you can get them through Go.
Right. Let's see, the Curum thing was with a little item that you equipped. Necrozma and Lunala and Solgaleo, well, yeah, those were fusions to a point, but with Necrom, I'm not really counting so much a fusion head as more of an armor kind of thing, where because of how he was like he kind of just went over him. In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it wasn't like a whole new Pokemon. It was like, look, he has armor, or I mean, hell, you could have even said that was a Mega Evolution, and I would have believed it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we are ready to move on from from this ghost Pokemon because
Yeah.
we didn't focus that much on it. We're like, there could have been some better.
Let's remove the Cub Scout Pokemon here. The Davy Crockett Pokemon. Okay, I think there we go.
But yeah, I think it now. J Chip's gonna run to the rest of the YTM and be like, Josh isn't with us. nobody recruited him, and I'm like, I'm not against anybody. I walk my own path. I'm more than willing to support people. A misty looking evolution here. That's what it makes me think. It's like that haze you usually see in cemeteries and stuff.
This one's kind of a little too subtle for me. I feel like this is probably
What's wrong with subtle?
this one. I mean, if I looked at it, I couldn't really tell if it was a ghost, aside of the fact that it's a little fluffy and it uses the same color scheme as the Ghastly line. But
This one's they made they made the ghost too cute for you. You're like, I don't want a cute ghost evolution.
yeah,
I want a serious serious, almost dark type theme going here.
I do. I feel like
I don't want light and friendly. I want something that's gonna stand there and agitate the shit out of you because you can't take it down easily.
I feel like if you want cutesy ghosts, that's where the first couple gens come in. Even all the way up to the Duskull line. When you start getting to Litwick and, all the other ones,
I,
Yamask, they all have like either a subtle design and a tragic backstory, or then they get like really, really freaky looking, and like this would scare the hell out of a kid if you looked at it.
the Litwick evolution line was cool. I liked it. I liked how it did the subtlety of like generally one of the go tos for starters, where it went with that cute kind of take your pick middle, and then this like cool looking design. Plus, I
Mm-hmm.
liked how it served a purpose that even if it was a little Disney-esque in the idea. And just for why I have the floor here, J Chip, I was joking. You're fine, man. I wasn't taking offense to anything. If anything, I was making it lighthearted. I just sometimes apparently don't come off that way because of the tone of my voice, which I honestly can't control. I can sit in a conversation and go very like natural monotone, and it drives people crazy.
Yeah, Deadpan
But
tends to do that too, for sure.
But yeah, I could see. I could. I mean, I like the effort. I think it's a creative design, but it is a little too cute. Where I'd want to have a ghost evolution. Now, is it the worst one we've seen so far? Absolutely not. I'm still reserving that towards. I just could not believe the Eve Mew would be a ghost is an evolution.
Oh,
That
darn
one
it.
is going to be really hard to beat.
I did it again.
You wrong, Pokemon. Huh? You must
Yeah.
really like the spider-butted Pokemon.
Spider butt.
Well, what else would you call those spider legs? I mean,
Okay. Now, in comparison to the previous one, I think this one is subtle, but it's got a vibe to it that says ghost to me, or at least dark type.
it's very much a ghost. This is that like you could believe that it went through a wall or it like just faded in, faded out, and just kind of wandered in.
Mm-hmm. Like I could totally believe this one would watch you from a cliffside or from like some dark part of the forest and just kind of like, you know,
Like I said, literally could just be watching you in a room and you wouldn't even know it. And
yeah.
then it made itself, or it's like standing there when you're sleeping and at the end of the bed and just looks at you and spooks the shit out of you. Like, wait, what the hell was that?
Mm-hmm. Like kind of like what Suicune does, where he's watching you from that shrine. You can't really make out what it is, but there's just something cool about it.
Of course.
I feel like that's where this one is going, and
Oh yeah,
it's
he's
subtle
beat out
enough.
the he's beat out the last three now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has a cute design, but it's menacing cute, which works for me. Sorry, continue. I cut you off. I apologize. Uh oh. Did we lose him?
Nope. I still
Okay.
here.
Okay, did we lose somebody here?
501, if you are on Twitter, that would be one of the easier ways to reach me, or if you're on Instagram, you can find me there as well, and DM me some of the artwork if you'd like to, and then we can showcase it like we talked about.
And of course, let us know, do you want it in our custom text layout here so we can make the adjustments we need to, or if you just want us to flat out just say, here's the whole image?
Oh, bummer.
That's one way, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm on
you can find me on Instagram for sure. Just look for zombie JLT1.
I'm on Instagram, Twitter, of course. Instagram, not as much, but I check in on it when I can. It's like not a. I'm gonna be real. It's not like the super like on top of my list of making my rounds kind of social media. Well,
And
we can definitely discuss it. 501st.
oh, for sure. For sure. And I think that about rounds up the ghost types for now.
Alrighty, so here's the challenge.
Ugh,
The two you like the most and the one you hated the most.
that is not fair. I don't know if I can do that. So many of these were good.
Well, at the top, the first one is like my number one for like.
All right, let's go highlight that one real quick because I did like that one for sure. Why this keeps bringing me back to the bug ones, I do not know.
I mean, I just really like that one. I mean, this is a personal preference, but if you change that blue to like a purplish lavender color, that would really work for it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what the heck?
Uh-oh. We having technical difficulties?
Okay, there we go. Just making sure. Yeah, this one is off to a great start. I could see this one existing for sure.
I mean, now with this one though, I don't see. I think it would have been really hard to make it look as cool as this illustration. But like on the Switch, I think it has enough power that you could pull it off. You were saying? I cut you off again. I apologize.
No, I was just thinking. I really did dig the mummy one. Especially with the ideas we were tossing around about using the stones to get the different. What's that?
We put a lot of thought into that one.
Mm-hmm.
The mummy.
Yeah.
So I think we're agreed. Those are probably the first two. Would probably be in the top two. I guess we'll switch to which was the least like for you. No, we can easily say probably the first four, maybe.
For sure.
And we got the least favorite grass type.
Yeah, for sure. The first four ghosts, hands down, were the best.
Were the ones that were hard, and then the very last one was the good one. So it really comes down to what? Probably.
Oh dang! See, yeah, this one was good too.
To say what was dubbed as Eeveelution or Muvie.
Muvie
is probably my least favorite. Even though I really like the effort somebody put into that art, I appreciate it. It's pretty to look at. It doesn't say Eevee to me at all. And this says no Eeveelution to me at all.
Here we go.
It says, I am a ghost Mew. I am Mew as a ghost. That is what that says to me.
Yeah. This doesn't scream that at all. I mean, it screams ghost, but not Eevee.
Like I said, one other thing I can give to it is I like the color palette choice. I really dig the palette choice on the colors.
Mm-hmm.
but it's just I can't. Even if you were to make him put him like in a quadruped pose, I couldn't see it working.
No, me neither. I think this is the one that unanimously just doesn't fit the bill. It's a cool design, but overall does not fit, being a ghost evolution. Um, but like the steel types, I think this type category had a lot of good ones in it and very few bad ones.
Well, what we decided to use. I mean, if we were to Google, there's probably a ton worse ones, or they just weren't illustrated in a good way where you're like, okay, I get where you're going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ghost
Mine
electric
says,
looking one was badass too.
oh yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for the ghost evolutions. Hopefully, one day we'll get one of these as well.
Oh yeah. What was
Because,
it? The other one from the other Pokemon I could think of type wise from Gold and Silver Age that would have a long time would be Dragon after Steel and Ghost.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
cut you off again.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're just doing what a Josh Shadow would do.
But I didn't break out my what is it, JoJo Bizarre, freaking The World or whatever. I didn't go All Star Platinum kind of deal on it.
That's fine. You don't have to.
I didn't. Well, I didn't make a Pikachu cry because it tried to hit me.
Throw the ball. Let's see where it lands.
Well, it's gonna land somewhere unpleasant.
Oop.
What was that?
Well, what is going on here? No, I don't want to open Adobe Photoshop.
You wanna use that expensive art program.
Oh, sure.
Get your
Well,
money's worth there.
how are we doing on time? All right, we are nearing the 2 hour mark. So,
We spent way too much time on that mummy. Freaking Eeveelution. Wow. We really got involved there.
I just think it was a cool idea. I think it's something that if somebody out there could actually draw, we've got the holy light looking pharaoh Osiris look with the sunstone, and then with the duskstone or what have you, we get the mummy decayed corpse design. I think if somebody could draw that and make that happen, that would be such an awesome evolution.
Yeah. So we have finished. So are we done with the Fakemon minute? That's I guess where we're all asking here.
I think that's all we have time for, honestly. Have we even gotten to poison types yet? I don't
We
recall.
poison types. I think it was poison and steel. Give me a second here. I was going to verify that for us. Let's see. Yeah, the first evolutions we did talked about on the Fakemon decks was steel and poison.
Okay. So now we
So
have
we just
ghost and insect.
we did the bug and ghost type. So I guess we could let the fans decide here, and I can rattle off which ones we have stuff for we haven't talked about yet.
Mm-hmm.
We've got dragon, fighting, flying, ground, and rock.
Oh yeah, so we got a tons more to discuss. Yeah,
And that's just evolutions. That's not counting like any random fanmon ones we find.
Mm-hmm. You think we should throw the next two up in a poll?
We could.
Could throw the first ever Poke poll up there. I know that sounds wrong, but yeah, we can have them vote on which two types we want to talk about next Fakemon segment, and then we'll apply that. because I know that we're definitely going to be revisiting this topic. And also we plan on doing a part 2, maybe 3 of the kaiju inspired Pokemon.
Of
And
course, we just gotta have time to figure that list out. Go,
yeah.
okay. We talked about these ones now. Which, in the large history of Godzilla, which monsters could we say easily are these ones?
Well, that was a great debate too, because we had some of those had quite a few options to go with, and it all just came down to personal preference. So,
Yep.
Pokevote, there you go. J-
Okay, no.
Josh is on the case with that. Pokevote, patent pending.
Pokevote. I'm sure they've already done that in one of their ad campaigns.
I'm sure they probably have too. But there you have it, folks. Ghost type and bug type. Honestly, if it came to one of those, I would vote Ghost first. Um, and I mean, you can't go wrong with introducing a poison or a steel type to balance out Sylveon. But that is also part of the upcoming rumors with Scarlet and Violet. We are possibly getting a poison type, if I recall. So that will
We'll
be.
see. I mean, it's. I'm just hoping it's not gonna. They're not gonna decide. Oh, we decided to nerf poison to the Sylveon's weakness tolerance to that type, and try to keep Sylveon as this like dominant evolution.
Right. Because that's just it. You know, the Eeveelutions, while not all of them are fairly strong, some of them are pretty decent. And the thing is that when it comes to deciding which evolution they should introduce, I don't really know if they're focusing more on game mechanics or if they're just like, "Hey, this is the design I want to go with, so I'm just going to launch it."
It's worked so far. I
Yeah,
mean, we're not gonna lie there. It works so far.
that is very true. But here's to hoping, and across any rumors or any confirmed Pokemon knowledge, feel free to shout us out on Twitter, Instagram, and also my Discord, because we do have a Pokemon section there for all things Pokemon. That includes confirmed rumors and all that good stuff. For a while, we were posting pictures of some of our catches from Arceus, which was always fun because we're always sharing ideas and tips
I'm
on how to
waiting for
catch
that to
those
happen.
alphas.
And I'm gonna put this out there right now. If you post on the Discord, like you share images, like if we think it's spectacular, chat worthy with the newest game, you may get quote. We may credit your snapshot and show it just so we can talk about it because I have no doubt that game's gonna be amazing.
Exactly. And they're adding so many more features to it that we could say that Arceus was definitely Pokemon Breath of the Wild, but it wasn't entirely there just yet. So we'll see what this new one will add to it.
At some point, we may or may not have to start doing like donate specifically to help us get these creative, artistic projects that are beyond our abilities done. Like, I'm sorry, I'm still in love with the idea that J Chip pitched us for the Catcher Trash animated segment. I think that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That whole shows you catching something being beamed into a ball or whatever that you caught, and I just take the ball from you and throw it in the trash and light it on fire. I still love that idea. We've had some great ideas. It's just finding or not even do it. It's find people that are affordable and know how to do it
Mm-hmm.
and have time is kind of tricky because we are a solo operation. And no, this isn't me begging. This is me just saying.
Yeah.
Right now, this is a passion project of Zombie and myself. We put in the time, we put in the energy. Zombie's glorious enough to share his audience his subscriber count for this. We say, hey, let's do this, and we actually put time into it. Now, given our personal lives, it's been a little more hectic, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys that we've kind of last minute a couple of the episodes because we're like, oh shit, we have that show we need to put on for the people. We planned nothing. What haven't we talked about? What supplies do we have?
Also, we don't want to overlap with many other great podcasts out there, and that includes the one hosted by Geeks with Cash, which
Oh, of course.
I always enjoy tuning into every other Monday. So it's nice to know that we don't overlap with them because those guys are great. And of course, I got the Radcast on Saturdays, which has, due to unforeseen weather conditions, has been canceled quite a bit recently because of the lightning storms we've been having. So
Where I live to where you live, we finally saw some of your guys' storms come through and actually drop a little bit of rain. I was like, about damn time.
yeah.
Like going, how am I going to be the cool kid that doesn't get wet? I want to be wet.
Oh, sweet Arceus. Hopefully one day Zombie can have his hair look like Jesse's. Poor
And
Jessie always gets her hair cut every so often. That one cut she got from Tracy's Scyther is hilarious because James made that whole like Team Rocket motto, but he improvised it and made fun of her hair. That was great.
but I think it's time to give the people what they like. The catch our trash. Dun,
Of
dun,
course.
dun.
Let's move on to the last bit of our show. We always have fun with this one. Catch or trash. So, those of you who are new to the show, Catch or Trash is just a little segment where we decide whether we want to capture the normal version, the shiny version, or both versions of a particular Pokemon. So, first up, we've got Ditto.
Where do you stand on this one, Zomio? I'm kind of curious.
You know, you can't go wrong with Ditto. You just can't. So, in my opinion, I'm gonna catch both of these.
I would definitely catch both of them because one, a Ditto is one of those things you always want to have for breeding. But if I was going to take it up a notch, I would. And I have this on one of my games. I have a shiny Imposter Ditto. It took me forever to get it, but I managed to get one.
Mm-hmm.
Because Imposter is basically out the box. It's already transformed to one of the Pokemon in your party.
Ditto is an odd one because I could just have him be who you like, but he'll have a derpy face.
Yes, he is the OG Derpy Pokemon, and they did do a line. I think they're still doing a line of Ditto Pokemon plushes, where a Pokemon
Whoa.
entering our Pokebox.
So, looks like... Alright, Linda says catch both as well. J-Chip says I might have to catch this one. Okay. Would it be normal, shiny, or both of them, J-Chip? Because I think no matter which one you go with, you can't go wrong with a Ditto. It's just...
You can. I mean, the early burst stages, I remember there was a joke. I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been a private session, and QBat said something about you being a shiny Ditto, and I did a quick Photoshop cut and paste of shiny Ditto with aviator glasses and long hair.
Yeah, you did. J-Chip says he'd take the normal Ditto over the shiny. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, yeah, the only difference really is it's pink light pastel pinks purplish slime to blue climb,
Mm-hmm.
really, because it's not like you get. Most times you'll get to see get a full use out of Ditto. Because if
Right.
it doesn't have imposter, you're immediately gonna do transform,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna look like the opponent. So if the opponent, it's not gonna go, I'm shiny my opponent. It's just gonna be exactly whatever color scheme the opponent is.
But definitely a heavy fan favorite.
Yep,
Ditto.
he's a brag Shiny Ditto is very much just a brag Pokemon that you have a shiny Ditto.
Yeah. Because for whatever reason, a shiny Ditto is highly sought after in Pokemon Go. I have like
If
two or
it's
three, I think, but you know, no big deal. Gigalith. Um, this is easy for me because you can't go wrong with either design, really. You've got the molten rock design, and then you've got the ice crystal design. So I'm gonna go with catch both.
catch both, but I would strongly lean more towards my personal preferences. I really like the shiny split
Mm-hmm.
scheme more than the standard.
Yeah, and Gigalith is one of those additions where I kind of was hoping that they would have done more with, but he kind of just sits there. You know, maybe if they give
He
him a different, like a final, another form, or maybe a mega evolution of some kind.
What's funny is like in the show when you do see the Pokemon more active, he has more person. They have more personality in the show than they do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of funny. Like some Pokemon, you could just get there. You could easily, in your own mind's eye, kind of imagination, think your Pokemon's got this cool way of acting and moving with whatever personality type they claim it has for stats.
Right.
See, Lindo's like, I am very much shiny only. Then you got Vash, who's kind of like me, but he leans towards the normal type strongly.
And then J Chip
Yeah,
with the shiny. Yep.
yeah. So it looks like a majority of the audience is like, I don't really want the shiny one,
Fair enough. Yeah, my Gigaliths
which is fair. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
in Pokemon Go aren't even high level 90s, so I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't caught a good one yet. But still have one in the
Now,
collection.
not to be devil's advocate here a little bit, if the announcement on Wednesday they go, we're closing Go, how is that going to make you feel?
Oh man. I don't even know if I could put that into words right now because I think if
Oh
I
yeah,
I think if they well, honestly Niantic seems to be self-sabotaging with Go. So I don't really know for sure if they're actually going to continue. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't, but I'd be very disappointed if they did because talk about a lot of YouTubers who won't have content, talk about a lot of the hardcore players that will disappear from the scene entirely. I mean, yeah, I'd hate to think that Go would be shut down, but you never know. You never know.
I'm now here's a fun one, but this one I'm going to add a twist to because it's one of the few that has a variety of sizes.
Yes.
Which out of for me, I actually do have the shiny. I have like the biggest size you can get of her shiny, or him, depending on what gender you want to say it is. But I love Gorgeist. It was one of those ghost Pokemon. I'm like, yeah, it's very much oh look, it's a Western holiday themed Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked it. I was like all over it. I was like, gonna get that now. It was one of the few Pokemon because I believe it was when it first came out. It was a exclusive to one version or the other to make you want to trade. It was one of those Pokemon that like weighed heavy on my decision.
Right. Yeah, this one I think. Okay, so Linda says catch both. And then J Chip says I'll catch the shiny, but it's only coming out of the box for Halloween. Vash says both. Um I think I would want to catch both with a lean more towards the shiny version.
Same.
Yeah.
Like I believe in my Ultra Sun and Moon is where it's sitting. They sit. I have the like I said, the big jumbo, super size, whatever the hell they call the largest version,
Mm-hmm.
shiny, and that one was a complete fluke. I honestly didn't think I'd get a shiny, let alone a huge one.
Yeah. And for
But
any Homestar Runner fans out
watch,
there, I
I'm gonna see the
really
shiny one. It's gonna have a crap nature. It's gonna be tiny.
for any Homestar Runner fans out there, I think Gorgeist reminds me of Marzipan, Homestar's girlfriend too. All right.
Nice.
The name I can't pronounce.
Well, let's see what it.
Kappa Frigus.
Oh no, oh no, this isn't Kafrigus. This is like it's like rune something because it's
Oh
supposed to be
yeah,
ruined
yeah. It's supposed to be
instead of a
runes.
sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Same annoyingness enunciating this name, but it's like rune instead of sarcophagus or something like that.
Yeah.
This one, I actually lean. I'd catch both, but I definitely lean more towards the normal color scheme because it's like the white is just like that pure bright white, and it like takes me away from it. It's like okay, he's now just a broken whiteboard that somebody
Mm-hmm.
drew on, as opposed to like a broken rune or a stone tablet or something.
I would go for with an emphasis on the normal too because I want that archaic look to him. I would want him to look like something I found in a temple.
You want him
Uh,
to live up to his name, not be like, oh look, it's a modern interpretation.
right. Like the shiny version to me kind of looks like a chalk drawing, like what you would see on a brand new sidewalk. Whereas the normal
It's
form kind of looks like what you would expect.
something with the word rune in it.
Mm-hmm. So Vash says he would go with the shiny. Linda says
Gosh,
shiny
with
as
this.
well.
Also, we're kind of so this time the hosts and the audience are tied.
And J Chip says would trash. Oh.
Yes,
Trashed.
I mean, move wise, he's not exactly amazing.
No.
If I remember, I think he is rock instead of ground as a
Mm-hmm.
secondary.
Yeah, some weird little
Ground,
switch like that.
it's like ground with more beneficial, but as I say this, I literally could just go look up his typing and be more certain of myself. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. I'm all sitting here talking like I'm at a radio station away from my equipment. It's like I only have a small script, folks. No, not at all. Yeah, it's sarcophagus is how you say the original form that he took from Yan Mask. Da, 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 da. Where are you? Yeah, this one's like Runergearus instead,
Yeah. Runigiris
and he
or
got yeah. You said it right. I said it wrong. Let's see here. Yeah, plus this one has to be in a special spot and actually has to be leveled higher. Like he's like you have to have a Dunsparce in your team, get to level 49 and be in a specific location.
uh too many restrictions.
Yeah, he goes ground ghost as Sarcophagus is just level him to level 34 wherever the hell you want to and is a pure ghost type.
Mm-hmm. I remember wanting one in Pokemon Go so badly, and then I'm just like, can't really raid with it, and Go Battle League. There's too many other better contenders, so it was
I
kind of
mean,
like, well, I'll take my time with this one.
I will say that the Yamask for that Runigeris comes off of looks cooler. I kind of dig that. Yeah, it's a small piece of a broken tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Its color palette is slightly different as opposed to the weird death mask that normal Yamask has.
Right. All right, and our last one for Catch or Trash. This one,
I'm waiting. Oh, Genesect. I know I had to get
Genesect.
through a list. What's funny is I actually like the normal one more than the shiny, but I wouldn't mind having the shiny, but I don't think they've ever done an official North American release of the shiny one.
I don't think so either.
I mean, let me let me just be that devil's advocate with Google here real quick.
And I think I'm in the same boat too. I would catch both of them, but I do like the normal version more. And because I named mine Xenomorph in Go, I kind of wish there was a color palette like the Xenos, because it'd be awesome to see Genesect with that type of design. But
Yeah, apparently the easiest way to get a shiny Genesect, apparently, and this is from an art little snippet that Google has fired up from the search from January 6th, 2021, is you'll have a 1 in 20 chance of encountering a shiny Genesect after completing the Genesect raids. And if you do find one, be sure to pop a Peanut Berry.
mm-hmm.
Let's
So
see. Otherwise, let's see. Yeah, pretty much Go is, if you want one these days, Go apparently is the
go to.
only other way. Is, yeah, pretty much. I was trying to avoid that bad pun. Otherwise, it's kind of like, yeah, good luck.
So where are
Oh wait,
we
hold
at with
on,
the? Okay,
real quick.
Vash
Okay.
shiny.
Yeah, yeah, he was only distributed in Japan as part of that as a promotion for the movie he was featured in with to I want to say why the Mega Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
You would have
Uh,
to hope that you could somebody from Japan was like throw it to you.
right. Linda says catch normal. Okay. J Chip says I feel like he'd shoot me as soon as I try to tell him to clean his room, but I have some use for him and I'll take the original. Fair enough.
What's funny about his text is he's kind of that game's that he came from originally Mewtwo in a way.
Yeah.
He was a revived from a fossil and then modified by
Mm-hmm.
Team Galactic, I think it was. Like he did not have the interchangeable cannon thing.
Right.
That was a manned edition. Like they modified it from like I forget how much of fossil flavor test. He got an interesting story. It's just looking. I have his plushie. I think his anniversary plushie.
Yeah.
He was for the month of December when they were doing the big like year long special products at release. I have his and Darkrai and Mew.
He also reminds me of that robot from Rocky 4 that Rocky buys for Polly.
I mean, that was kind of the idea. He's supposed to be like kind of like more cybernetic than
Yeah.
like they were trying to somewhat revive the technology that they used to create Mew. But then if you watch the movie he stars in with that special Mew, there's now Mewtwo. There's now two Mewtwo's running around because they decided to make their own Mewtwo. And this is according to the American dubbing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't want to use the same voice actor we used forever for every appearance of Mewtwo in the anime. It's like I think that's the only one that has a female voice is the Mewtwo that this thing fights in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was when I heard it, it took me off. It really did. So I was like expecting to hear Mewtwo's like gonna tell us how he now has a Mega form, and nope, whole different Mewtwo. I'm like, you suck.
Yeah, Vincenzo, Vash is right. Honestly, there's no difference between a normal and a shiny. It's just a different color palette, and if you're into the game, it's bragging rights mostly.
Usually, most shinies will have like at least like one perfect IV, one or two perfect IVs that makes them shiny as well, or EVs depending on what the fuck you want to call it. There's two form. There's technically two these days, separate numbers that affect your stats, but
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing I'm wondering with Scarlet and Violet is the EV IV thing. If they're going to keep that, or they're just going to keep it simple like they did with um Arceus. It took me a minute there to think about that. But yeah, pretty much alternate colors is kind of that way of waving your digital lower end at somebody saying, "Look what I have that you don't have." Or if you play mobile games, that gotcha type of stuff where it's like would be considered like a rare like an SR or something as opposed to the standard.
Right. Because most of the time when you raid for a Pokemon in Pokemon Go, your chances of getting a shiny form, if that mon already has a shiny form in game, is much higher. But I mean, most of the time people are hunting for hundos anyway. So it really depends on what type of collector you are, whether it's you want shinies or if you want hundos or the ever elusive Shundo, which is both a shiny and a hundo. Um, but yeah, that's really all they're for, bragging rights. You could have the worst stats for that Pokemon, but if it's shiny and everybody wants it, it's like, haha, look what I got. Yeah,
Vincenzo, it depends on one what game you're playing,
yeah.
and if you get there's like how far in the game and how if you have these certain items and how you go about getting a shiny. The numbers are stacked against you. Like in Arceus, it's ridiculously easy to encounter shinies as opposed to
Unless you're me.
no, honestly, for you, it really just straight up comes down to being in an area long enough and just basically killing the crap out of something and then wandering into it and hoping it's not one of the Pokemon that's like, oh, the area just went dark. Now this Pokemon went away.
Or it sees you and then it runs away and it's got a high flee rate.
Like, yeah, it likes to bolt like Eevees, man. Oh my
Yep.
lord.
You gotta keep an eye out and keep an ear out for that little cry. That's
I
it.
just hope you get lucky and one of your outbreaks is an Eevee.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, you're welcome, Vincenzo. Much appreciated. And again, we live for questions like that, so keep them coming. Whatever you want to discuss, on the show with us is more than welcome. Um, and at some point, we definitely plan on playing some of the various games out there to kind of give a demo for those who have never played them before. I've got a setup that I can actually put my Go game on, so that's something I might revisit in the future too. But got a couple.
Let, let's see Zombie in real time from the comfort of his home lose his mind on his Go collection.
Oh, I know. I would get mad if I lost a chance to get something like a hundo or a shiny. Although I will say this, for as much as people dump on egg hatching in Pokemon Go, I tend to get my best Pokemon from eggs. And I'm like, hey, I'll do this all flipping day. You guys can keep rating and do whatever you want that way, but just yesterday I hatched quillfish. I hatched two hundos in the same set of eggs. So I have a perfect hundo for the quillfish, and then I have the perfect hundo for its evolution. So there you go. There's 2 hundos right off the bat. And I tend to have better luck with shinies that way too. So I guess when it comes to Pokemon Go, I'm a better breeder than I am going out there and raiding, but I don't care about that either. That's fine.
Uh, but yeah, it's one of those things. It's like if you ever came to where I live, zombie, you'd be shocked. There's a lot of raid points. Hell, in my apartment complex, there is literally a raid spot, and literally outside my unit is a spot that you could put the little fume thing or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the stop. So I could literally sit in my room and be like, before it was like, give us money to give yourself more space, because it's like I have all these good Pokemon and I don't want to trash them, and it's like I don't have anything to trash. And I'm not gonna give you money. I don't have that. I don't have burnable money like that right now. If I have a
Right.
burnable income, you go to something else that I can enjoy that I've been wanting a little more. Sorry, but I'm not gonna play digital crack gambling.
Digital crack gambling. Well, I mean, Pokemon is
That's
just glorified cockfighting anyway, so I guess, it's one
well,
bad addiction versus
Go
the
has
other.
the extra component there though with that stuff though. It's like give us money so you have this chance to get this.
Yes,
Oh,
that is very true. And it has taken a bit of my income because of that, but I am I'm a less addicted than I was before. So I don't rate as much, and I'm getting fed up honestly with the the IVs of some of the Pokemon that are raid bosses because I've been getting crap. So I'm very choosy about when I raid. Most of the time, I'm over here hatching eggs and trading, just trying to get better
oh,
stats.
that was the thing, man. When I had to walk to work from my place, I used to just pop that game. The only thing I had to worry about is the battery running out of life on my phone. Having that
Mm-hmm.
game running, so keep its little kilometer reader going. And that I saw very quickly. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this charging battery and the spare cable so I can just plug it into my damn phone. Then I don't have to worry about, okay, well, this is technically my work clock and also a means of emergency communication, so I kind of need to, on my break, try to find an outlet that somebody's not bogarting.
Yep, I bought myself a power brick too, just in case I'm
'Cause,
out on a community day and I'm running low on battery power. I'm like, yep, just connect this and I'm good to go.
I mean, there's Pokemon I have on my go that are like absolute garbage,
Mm-hmm.
but I won't let them go because they were like Pokemon that I got with my sister before she passed. That was like one of her things when she had good days. We'd literally go drive around to areas that we knew had like ridiculous like spawn points, and we
Mm-hmm.
just like spent a few hours driving around. At one point, we stopped and bought a bunch of little cigarette lighter adapter pieces and plugged like all the little power outlet holes with those, and had cords running to everybody's phone to keep them charged because we were going that long and that hard. My best one, and I know this is gonna piss people off, and we're gonna hear it. In and Out. I caught my first Snorlax chilling at an In and Out.
Mm-hmm.
I found that goddamn hilarious. I was like, that works. I don't care what anybody says.
Unless you're those cops that lost their job because they were too busy trying to catch a Snorlax instead of policing what was going on.
Eh,
Oh, big,
not gonna
big fail.
not gonna touch that one. I'm just not gonna touch that one. I've seen people do super good things for and lose their jobs. I'm just like, whatever, man.
Or the people that don't watch where they're going and they fall into rivers and lakes.
Or get hit by a train. Apparently, they weren't too busy not to notice to walk around the safety fences and stuff like that, but they were too busy to hear and see the train coming. This is a tragedy. I'm not just valuing the tragedy, but I'm like, okay, man. You can't say that there wasn't something to prevent this from happening.
Mm-hmm.
This took a conscious effort to ignore this, go around this, and ignore the big scary thing this was supposed to stop you from getting hit by.
Right.
You made an effort to do this.
Maybe at some point we should talk about Pokemon Go and, highlight pro and con of the game, see what people think who have never played it, or if they have, share their horror experiences, and kind of talk about where the game is going nowadays and where it was at one point, the glory days.
Back in my Pokemon Go career, there was only 120 Pokemon. Now we're trying to bring Pokemon that people wanted back then, and it's too late.
And then
You don't know how hard it took us just to get the rating system.
Oh yes, I do. We were there. We were there when it all went down.
They were like, "Oh my god, they're doing this," and it was just an elaborate April Fool's joke. They went, "Okay, well, I guess we gotta do this now."
Yep. Vincenzo, you can actually Google search, unless either Josh or myself can find it in the next few minutes. There are articles and there are YouTube news clippings of the officers that were supposed to be on duty and were actually caught recorded turning down an emergency call because one of the officers was trying to catch a Snorlax. Like, they have his body cam recording. And it's... yeah, it's just wow.
How do you turn your body cam off? This is what I'm talking about. There's a conscious effort here on some level to get yourself in trouble here.
Yeah. It's sad, really. Like, you think about it, it's funny that officers did something like that, but at the same time it's scary to know that mattered more to them than their job. So, but yeah, you can find online articles, and YouTube, I know, has a few clips from various news stations that covered the story. I mean, Pokemon Go has so many unfortunate incidents associated with it, more than any other Pokemon game there is out there, but it's still popular for a lot of reasons. But, Josh and I are old school players, as are a variety of our watchers, so we'll always come back to the original Game Boy games because that was the heyday, for sure.
More team that we have the Arc Boy up for some reason, though.
Well, because I was mentioning how we were there at the very beginning with Blue and Red, and maybe someday we'll host some Blue and Red game playing here.
Well, that is the game plan at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Finally give this lovely overlay we put together.
You put together.
Hey, I asked you first. I didn't just go rogue.
You put it together, but definitely a plus. Definite a plus.
You had input. Don't act like I was like, I made this, we're using this. There was no guilting you into anything. But yes, one day the legendary Nintendo Arc Boy will come out of this All Mew collection just for you people to see it in action.
Definitely. Plus, we've got Halloween coming up. I may revisit Pokemon Creepy Black. I'm trying to find Lost Soul Silver, if anybody knows where I can get that ROM hack as a cart. I'm also trying to find Pokemon, the original Pokemon Black, like the creepy version. There's like Murder Red. There's a bunch of
some crazy freaking ROMs that people twisted and made.
Yeah.
Not necessarily safe to stream.
Mm-hmm.
One I'd recommend, maybe if people wanted to see us play it, Moemon Emerald game is kind of fun. And all that is basically turning the Pokemon into freaking monster girls. I'm not even kidding. I mean, after this stream, I will fire it up on my laptop and share the screen just so you could freaking see it.
I remember the first ROM hack I ever got, I bought for my then roommate because he loves Team Rocket, and that's Pokemon Rocket Edition, where you play as either Jesse or James, and it's a whole game too, but it's you building yourself up from the ground up to join Team Rocket. That was a pretty fun ROM hack.
There's some really good ones, and then there's ones people have had ideas and they didn't like complete it, and it makes you sad.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the best Moemon one that I've seen is, last I checked, is still like they're working on it, but they have a workable version you can play. Is Moemon Mega Fire Red, where they like are using, obviously Fire Red has their game engine, but they've added like some custom moves. They've added Pokemon from generations ahead of that game into the game.
Right.
And I mean, I put some time in it. I was playing it off stream on my modded Wii. But it still has bugs. But where I downloaded it, there was like this whole thing that like straight up told you, do not do these things or you'll crash your game.
Yep. And then, of course, if you were there in the heyday, we all remember the missing number glitch.
Missing no?
Missing no. Yep.
I still like this advertisement. This one was fun. I thought it would be way easier to recolor, because this is an actual screenshot from the movie he was in.
Yep.
That I just recolored him into a shiny and then added the Josh and did the little tweak. That took a lot longer to change the color palette to the shiny palette than I thought it was going to take, but it's definitely probably one of our favorite ads.
For sure. And
I'm speaking for me.
And
I'm speaking for me, clearly. I don't know about you.
No, I love this one because Giratina being technically the Lucifer of Pokemon, like, it's badass in its own way. And then you added the shiny form, which is even cooler. So
he's one of the shinies I will absolutely go for. Like, I restarted Platinum over and over again trying to get a shiny one of him. I was like, I was determined. I'm like, I want the shiny one. And God help me if it's not a cool shiny and I went through all this hell.
Yeah. I know I gotta find a way to get Platinum. I gotta get that game somehow, because aside from the mystery dungeon carts, I've almost got the complete library. Almost, but I'm stressing that word almost.
I need just a chip for Pearl. Somehow my Pearl just got up and disappeared. Like, I have no idea where it went. It just gone one day, and there wasn't anybody that was in my stuff, so it's like he just took off.
Yikes.
Like, I have no idea where it disappeared to. It's not like, oh, it was in one of my old DSs and I just forgot about it. Nope. It's gone. I have no idea where it is.
Well, that about does it for our episode, everybody. I want to thank you all personally for being here, chatting with us as always, voicing your opinions on the Eeveelutions, Catch or Trash, and then, of course, congrats to Linda, who is our YouTuber / content creator for tonight's episode.
Yep. Let's have a quick reminder on the Scarlet stuff once you're done.
Go for it.
Oh, no, I'm gonna bring back up the thing. I need to actually say that stuff. That's why I said keep going. Keep going!
Well, I guess with that being established, our next episode, should we put a poll on whether or not we want to go into the next set of Eeveelutions, the next set of Kaiju-inspired Pokemon, or do we want to have another topic in general? There have been some that we've kind of tossed around. We discussed a few tonight. Might even play some old school games if I can get my setup to accommodate that.
We're working on it. Obviously, we're working on it. We got the overlay done. So if we get some things I've been thinking about us possibly doing or looking into, we might have to remake the overlay. But if I save it in the right file format, I could definitely still use it and just change the Mew and Marshadow out.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, it's all about timing and our IRLs working where we can get together and be like, let's do this.
Right.
But just now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to give my reminders I wanted to do. So, the reminder, there is 108 days, 3 hours, 9 minutes, and 18 seconds and counting until Pokemon Scarlet and Violet drop. Also, I believe it's 6 a.m. Pacific Standard and 9 a.m. Eastern. Pokemon Presents is going to be doing their big thing this Wednesday on the 3rd. So there's thoughts of hopefully we're going to get a stay on the existing games, the mobile game, and maybe some more stuff on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will be revealed. Mm-hmm. Though I think it would be a damn shame if they revealed the Eeveelution to us. We'd be like, oh, that would kill us a little bit. We'd still probably do the fan designs though, but
oh, absolutely.
My big concern is they don't do Dragon. If they do Dragon, I'm gonna be upset because Dragon is for whatever reason decided to make super weak to Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
That would just crush me. It's like, no. The other way. We don't want something weak to it. We want something strong against it. But I'm just curious, what if we did start playing the retro games? Would they want us, if we put it up to them, would they want us to play a ROM hack first or an existing game?
That's true. We could put that to the Poke Vote and see what everybody thinks. The same way that I host the Ratcast voting every week. So that reminds me, I got to do that. I have to go back and look at all the topics for this week's podcast on Saturday. But we'll do the same with the Artcast because there's more wiggle room there to kind of really flush out a lot of the topics that you all vote on. So if we want to have a vote on Artcast topics, I can definitely start including those. And
it does help us think these formats out a bit better, I think.
Yeah. And also when fans shout out, topic ideas, always welcome.
Exactly.
That is all I have. So apparently I have to go help free my fiance from Galvantula outside our door.
So it is. You're too good for Ariados, huh? It has to be your Garvantula, huh?
Well, it is a tarantula, so. But thank you all for being here. I am your first host, Zamu.
I am always the adorable, creepy fighting ghost bear, Josh Shadow.
And
until next time, we really want you to come back.
Definitely do. Always look forward to these episodes. So, hope to catch you all here on the next Pokemon Artcast. Y'all have a good night.